Hello, this is Paul with the Oaken Knight. Welcome back for our second segment of our playthrough of Holland 44, Operation Market Garden. We left off at the end of turn 1 or start of turn 2, and I just want to show you the kind of, we don't have a reinforcement card in this game. They just have you stack everything up on the turn track. Not the best way to do it, but I just wanted to give you a quick view of that, and you can judge that for what it is. First thing that happens in the turn is the weather roll, but I think I'm going to pause here and deploy the reinforcements, and we'll pick up from at the weather roll. Reinforcements for the Germans kind of ring the map. Remember, they have these perimeter zones, if you want to call it that, where units can leave the map, enter the map. Reinforcements also come there, so we can see one up this area. And then we can go a little bit farther. We see another one over here. There are a lot of them on the east, a lot of them up by Arnheim, kind of all over the place. Nothing too much in any one area, but it's just kind of a steady supply of new guys coming on the map from all directions. The Allies, on the other hand, have their reinforcements only over here on the board edge by 30 Corps and the other adjacent corps. That's what they get, and I think with that we can start with the first phase of the turn, which is the weather roll. Now, it's a non-weather roll actually, because it is a night turn. There's an AM turn, a PM turn, and a night turn for every game day. The game started on the PM turn. The night turn, there is no weather roll. There's only weather roll on the AM and the PM turn. So with that, we are at the artillery resupply phase for the Allies. If you recall, we used two Allied artillery shots over by 30 Corps. The Allies can resupply 2 artillery units at night, or basically on any turn. So we get our artillery supply back in the two artillery units that were active out by 30 Corps. We had also taken a shot with the British 1st Para, but unfortunately at night the airborne do not get resupplied. They don't drop anything to resupply them at night, and they don't get any resupplies for their artillery at night. So next phase would be the bridge phase. This is where the Allies can do things like build bridges, and what we got is we moved one of the few moves we did by 30th Corps was to move a bridging unit up to the blown bridge. And so what we can do, we can start reconstructing that bridge. That would be the end of the bridge phase for the Allies. Airborne landing phase is next. There are no airborne troops landing at night, with the exception of one unit over here, which it's kind of a special deal. It would be this guy here. It's a special rule that he comes down on turn 2. Basically, the thing says that he actually comes down turn 1, but for some reason known to only Mark Simonich, said he doesn't bring the unit down till turn 2. So instead of having this guy roll with disruption with all the other guys that land on turn 1, this guy gets a 1-turn delay and a free pass on turn 2. Have no idea why this guy has a special rule. So he's over here with the artillery. The artillery does not get to resupply. All right, that's it for the airborne phase. We are now up to movement. I think what I'm going to do is, again, hit the highlights on the movement. I'm going to try to skip the mundane parts, and we will go from there. Let me take care of the mundane parts, and I will be back in a moment. Here is the result of the Allied turn 2 movement in the 30 Corps area. We had a number of units, armored units, make it down the road, and to get out this way to put pressure on the German strong point, we were able to use the main road followed by the road over here to kind of scooch around. Uh, the infantry units continue to put pressure over here. We have a new division that was able to cross over the canal using tactical movement to put pressure on this guy over here that couldn't really quite get away. I think he's going to get away. He might take a step loss, but he'll probably scooch off the map after the Allied turn once the Germans get to move again. We had some more pressure we put on this depleted SS unit. We were able to go down the road and get some more units around it. He's kind of in trouble. However, remember, units can retreat through one zone of control hex. Well, I take that back. This is a Zachbond. This guy's stuck. If he retreats, he's going to die. But one more step, he's going to die anyway. So that's not that's not going to make much difference one way or the other how he dies. And then we just simply followed suit. These guys used tactical movements to pull away. The Germans did. The Allies did the same to maintain contact. The only other thing, we had some new reinforcements come on. Remember, we put a bridge unit over here, so this bridge is under repair. It's going to be repaired by the time the next Allied movement phase rolls around, so the stack of guys are going to be able to go forward. In this game, artillery cannot move more than a couple hexes unless they have a movement unit on top. I don't know, I guess that's the trucks or something. There's a limited number of those, so you really don't get to move all of your artillery all on the same turn. And same for the German, except they have even fewer of these units to mobilize their artillery units. All right, that's the 30th Corps. Over to the 101st zone. I think we'll go ahead and show the moves. I think there's enough going on here where it would be a good thing to do. Now, if you recall, we lost the San River Bridge last time. That would be the primary objective for the 101st. Unfortunately, it just didn't happen. We didn't get that bridge, but we have this secondary bridge. The part of the problem is that we also have a unit putting the crossing in its zone of control. That's going to make it harder for us to get over quickly. We're going to have to stop in the zone of control, and then we're going to have to move out of the zone of control, plus 2 movement points to move out of a zone of control in this game. So it's going to slow us down. We want to get over to Eindhoven with at least some force, and Eindhoven is right over here. We want to get over there with something to start cleaning that out even before 30th Corps shows up. So I think the fastest way to clear this, to get to Eindhoven, is actually to beat this guy. So what I want to do is we're just going to keep these guys put. We're going to put this guy over there. There's going to be 12 points there. Now, 12 points against 5, but he's in a city, or a town rather. So that doubles him. He's 10. The paratroopers have 12 on 10. That would be 1-to-1. They have a quality advantage that gets them 2-to-1. Unfortunately, there's no airplanes available at night, and even if they were, they're too far away from 30 Corps to use them. So the paratroopers are going to have to go in with a 2-to-1 attack, and we'll see how that goes once we get to the combat phase. We have, let's see, scooching over here a little bit. Well, we have another bridge over here we can make a grab for, although we do have plenty of bridges right now. That's not a bad thing. Maybe it's even better if we get the Germans to blow it up for us. I think what we're going to do is just to show it to you, the units can break down in this game. There's every division has a few breakdown counters, and in the case of the 101st, there are 2 of them. So to use them, what we're going to do is we're going to break down this guy here, and he loses a step, but he generates a breakdown counter when he does that. And so what I think we want to do is to take the breakdown counter, and 1, 2, we're going to go over to this bridge, and we're going to roll the die and see if that bridge is taken intact. Remember, only turn 1 it's a 50-50. Any other after that, it's you need to roll a 1 or a 2 on your die, or your 6-sided die, in order to take it. All right. Well, boy, 6. That's bad. It's gone. Ba-boom. All right. Well, at least the Germans can't cross that bridge on us and do a lot over a lot to us using the bridge. So I think the main priority right now is to get some kind of perimeter set up. So let's kind of move this guy over here. Uh, let's move this guy over here. That's 1, 2, and the woods counts 1. Let's move that guy over here. So we have at least a defensive perimeter set up to, that would be what, the west? That would be to the west of us. To the east, there's still not a much that can get to us, even though the German units are not restricted to tactical move of 2 hexes. They can use their full move. What do we have left to move? Well, we have these 2 fellows over here. I think. Well, actually, just to kind of make that issue go away, I think we can use our second breakdown counter just to throw something over that way. We're going to use it on this guy. And since we captured the bridge, we're just going to walk back across, and its movement is tripled on the main road. So 1, 2. Oh, I'm sorry, these are non-mechanized, so it's going to be on foot. So we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, and then we have the extended move 4, 5. And we're going to end up here. And of course, this guy flips because he spawned off a breakdown counter. He's doubled in that town, so he's in pretty good shape. And we have one more unit here. I don't want to leave a bridge open. I think, nothing's over there. And we don't have to worry about it right now. And we got more guys coming. I think we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, take the town, and kind of be there and see what happens. The Germans, they say this is the only guy who could conceivably do anything, and again, all by himself, I just don't see how he's going to do that much damage. Back over to the 82nd. All right. I think what I would do in this case is that, look, this is a lot of troops over here, more than what is needed just to hang on to the bridge, especially considering that there's really no Germans in the immediate area. I think we can certainly pull out one of these guys, if not more. But let's just say we're going to pull out one. We have to know what's going on with these bridges. That's true. So maybe the best thing to do is to see if we can find us a bridge. So let's see if we can go 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, and we're going to do a bridge check, and we have 1 moving point left with extended move. So 1 or a 2, and that bridge is discovered. Is good. A 2. All right. Well, that solves a potential problem for the Allies because we didn't have a bridge over that canal yet, and now we do. And because we have it, I don't know if we want a chance going over to that next bridge. We don't want to leave this open. This hex is precious and dear. I think what we can do, we can start this guy. Let's move him over to this bridge. So it's 1. And we're going to roll 1 or 2, see if that bridge is available. 4, ba-boom, it's gone. Ba-boom. So we're going to blow up this bridge. 1, 2, 3. The Polter costs 2 for a leg unit. We're going to see if that bridge is going to blow up under our feet. And it does. Roll to 3. That would have been okay on turn 1, but it's not okay on turn 2. So this bridge is blown up. So out of the 4 bridges that are available in this area to get to Nijmegen, the Allies have exactly 1 of them. So they need to hang on to that place. Okay, this is not bad though. 1 is enough as long as you have it. Over here we have the guys waiting for the 1,000 German tanks to come out of the forest, and I think, and we need that second wave of troops to come. We need it pretty badly. Um, I think these guys stay put. These guys stay put. In fact, what we can do is the 82nd was one of the divisions that had a a temporary loss during their airdrop. So we're going to take that back, and we're going to flip this guy back, and we're going to put a replacement marker on him, and he's not moving. So that one hack's maximum move is a non-issue. Um, Over here, I don't like leaving this road open. That eventually is going to bite us. So we do have a freed guy here who's not doing anything. It would be nice to send him over to Nijmegen, but it would also be really nice not to have to worry about that road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, I tell you what. We can go. Boy, this is kind of nice. Let's go ahead and it would be nice to be behind the river, but it's also nice to go out there and just have that extra buffer zone. Um, he's elite. Well, the elite won't help him on defense. That's one thing in this game that's different than Normandy 44 is that all these bonuses, elite and poor quality, they really are for when used when the allies are attacking. The eliteness doesn't help you on defense, and the poor quality does not penalize you on the attack. Unless you realize that, you're gonna have a hard time with the British paratroopers. The first playthrough of this game I tried, I messed up on that rule, and I was applying the column shifts when, say, the British airborne, the elite units were defending. You read the rule closely, that's not the case. So I was wondering, gee, the Germans don't seem to be able to do anything. Well, the British were getting a shift that they weren't entitled to. Read the rules closely on the infantry shifts and the quality shifts, and you'll see what I mean. Um, all right, over here, boy, I just don't think with one unit, again, we should go adventuring anywhere. The question marks are frozen. Okay, can't go anywhere off on their own. So the supply hex is okay. This is okay. Just don't go anywhere. It's not exactly an offensive sort of situation here, but at least it's stable. We do have one more degree of freedom here. 1, 2, 3. He can move up now. He can't. When you're doing extended move, you can't go adjacent to anybody, so he cannot engage any of these guys. But he can get in the general area, and hopefully, with more guys coming, hopefully next turn. 1, 2, 3. We are starting to build up a force over by Nijmegen, where maybe we could do something beginning of day 2. All right, last group of guys. Oh, well, let's say these guys. Let's say these guys stay put for now. That's good enough. And let's go over to see what the British are doing. All right, here we go. Remember, I told you about Colonel Frost and his abilities to get over to Arnhem. So why don't we start with that? By the rules, the infiltration rules, this guy's zone of control does not extend into the city. We are adjacent to an enemy unit. However, with tactical move, we don't have to pay the penalty for leaving the zone of control. The penalty is 2 movement points. But when you're using tactical move, it's just 1, 2 done. Let's go ahead and see what we got here. What's defending? Well, fortunately, it's not a dummy unit, but it is only a 1-point defense unit. Take a quick look. In the city, defender is doubled, except vehicle units. Okay, so the 1 doubles to 2, and he's got 4. However, this guy is not a poor quality unit, but we do have an elite unit on the attack. So it's going to be 1 doubles to 2. With 4 attacking, that's 2 to 1 with a shift up for the quality of the attacker. So let's see what we got going here. All right. We rolled a 5, so 3 to 1, 5. That's A1, D1. Well, that's an interesting roll. It does get us in there, but Colonel Frost's battalion has gotten beat up already. So this is not a good long-term thing, but at least in the short term, the British have the Arnhem Bridge. And we don't have to worry about whether this bridge blows. Remember, there are certain bridges defined in the game by the rules that it will never blow up. The orange on the bridge is a reminder of that. And so this is one of them. Here's another one. Nijmegen Bridge is one of them. And, well, so that bridge is going to be open. If you notice, there's yellow on some of the railroad bridges, essentially railroad bridges over major rivers. That's saying they can be blown normally, but they can never be repaired. The span of the bridge is too wide to allow a Bailey bridge to fix it. All right. What I'd like to do is see what else we can accomplish. We have this guy is going to put his zone of control on the drop zone where the day 2 guys are coming in. I don't know if we really have, let's see, if we 3, 5. Well, we actually kind of do. We could try. We could try. Boy, it sure would be nice to have another unit over there. Let's say these guys stay put. Mr. Kraft is getting away. He's gotten away. But what we can do is make sure that our Zachbahns are good. Our Zachbahns are good. Now, we do have a ferry back here that could be a problem. The ferries take a while, and only 1 step a turn can get across, and you got to start there to get the 1 step over. So there's no immediate threat, but we may have to get something there next turn if the Germans look like they're going to try to push somebody over. So I think we're doing nothing there, we're doing nothing there, we're doing nothing there, we're doing nothing there, and we have a 3-point unit left. So 3, 5, 8. Well, that's a magic number against this guy. So we're going to throw him in. Oops, not with the artillery, thank you. Remember, the artillery could not resupply. It fired turn 1 during the day. It cannot resupply at night. All right, so we have 3, 6, 8. Against this guy in the woods. So we have a 2-to-1, but he is a low quality unit defending. That's a shift. And we have the majority of our steps. Now this is interesting. This guy is not an elite unit. He's like the only non-elite unit in the whole first para, I think. But the majority of our steps are elite. We have 2 steps here, 2 steps here, 2 steps. So 4 steps of elite, 2 steps of non-elite. That equals an elite shift. So we're going to get a 2-to-1 by the raw odds, but 2 shifts up. That's going to be 4-to-1. Now, what I'm trying to do here is we kind of mix the movement and the attacks together last turn, and attacking is really as a separate phase. So I'm just going to mark the 4-to-1 attack, and we'll do the attack phase as the attack phase instead of mixing it in with movement. The attacks in the 30th zone, 30th Corps zone, are pretty straightforward. We have 5-point attackers attacking a single 3-point defender. So it's 25 points against 5. In my world, that's 5-to-1. So let's just do it. There's no quality difference. There's no artillery, and there's no aircraft because it's night. 5-to-1. Roll to 3, and that would be A1D1, our old A1D1 friend all over again. Okay, so the defender's going to take a loss of his choice. The attacker will take a loss of his choice. And the defender, unless he wants to roll for it, has to retreat. And I'm going to say that getting the heck out of there is a good thing. So let's just get off the board and count ourselves lucky if there's anything left. All right. With that, the Allies get to advance 2. We got a road, so we can go 2 down the road. That's a good thing. We can advance these guys, the hex, and advance this guy. So basically this would be the 50th Division. The 50th Division is in the war. 12th Corps is lending support, and life is good. Next, guys. All right, let's do the point. This is a mostly armored attack down the road. The defenders are a mix of infantry and armor. The armor has 3-point quality, the same as the attacker, so that means there will be no armor shift. That's the superscript. See the superscript 3, you see the superscript 3, it's the same, no shifts. We've got some guys going over a river, so they are going to be halved. That's 3. You have round up on the halving. 3, 7, 10. And this guy's not going over the river, so 10, 19, 26. 26, there's no, well, let's see the odds. So 26 is 3, 5, 7. So that's going to be 3 to 1, and I threw in 1 artillery barrage. It's only a 1 or 1 table shift. It's only a 2 table shifts on turn 1, so that goes from 3 to 1 to 4 to 1. No armor differential, no quality differential, straight up 4 to 1 on these guys here. Oh, a 6. Good news. D1. All right. So the defenders take a loss of their choice. I think we're going to get rid of this infantry unit. He goes away. Done for the war. For you, the war is over. And let's say we got to retreat these guys. So we're going to go down the road 2. The advance is going to take us down the road 2. Oops. Let's see. He's going to go over here. There's no bridge there, so nothing we have to worry about blowing up or saving. Let's see. I guess we're going to go. Let's see. Minor river. You can't advance over a terrain you're not entitled to go over normally. So let's see. And vehicles are prohibited over minor rivers. So these guys, and they can't walk into the polter without having a road. So I think these guys are just going to kind of stay put. And, well, I'll tell you what. We're going to put that 9-banger on the road in preparation of doing some good things next turn. So this attack is done. And we have one more. Let's see if there's anything interesting about this one. It's just a bunch of guys. I mean, the main thing is that the vehicle units cannot. They attack at half strength when they go into the polter. So it doesn't matter, they're into the polter or out of the polter, attacking in or out, either way, it's going to have them. The guy over here, the 30th Corps armored unit, is also half because he's going over the river. But that's it. There's guys attacking not over the river. The odds work out to 5 to 1, and then we threw in another artillery piece to get it to 6 to 1. Remember, we get 2 artillery resupplies at the start of next turn, so we're going to get those artillery back. It really doesn't cost us anything to use the artillery at this point. We got a 6 to 1. Let's see what happens. Whoo-hoo, another 6. All right, DS, that's the best result. That guy is first, he's going to take a hit and die. And we don't have to do any of the other stuff other than we have a good amount of movement that hopefully we can use. This guy's gone. It's basically two hex advance, or if you got a road to advance on, that's 3. At least we don't have much in the way of roads. We do have this guy on a road. He won 2. Okay, let's say. Remember, we also have the core boundary here. This is still the 30th core boundary. They can only go 1 hex over it. They can't go bounding around over here. They got to get all the way down to at the edge of the camera before this opens up. All right, let us. It's good to put this guy in a zone of control because it costs him 2 to pull out, so it reduces how far he can try to get away on us. So we have these green guys, which is me and my bifocals. It's the 3rd Division, I think. So the 3rd British Infantry Division is kind of holding these guys. It's going to cause some problems trying to get out of there. Remember, we have the situation all up and down the line. Where the British are just making contact. It's going to make them a little bit harder to get away. We want to slow them down. If we can get behind them, maybe we can do good things. All right, so we still have some advances to do here. I think we can afford to put leave a recon guy there. I like having Zach Bonds, and don't give the Germans a chance to do anything creative. The rest of these guys can just kind of go down the road, get on the road. We're all gonna kind of get over on the road. This guy is not a vehicle, so he can cross the rivers and such. I think actually give him over on the bridge here. We're just going to get a bunch of the guards infantry, or the guards division is going to be ready on the road for turn 2 or turn 3. Be mobile, go thundering down that road as much as possible. All right, we had the 2-to-1 attack here. I don't like this attack. I really don't like this attack, but holy smokes, we gotta do something against this guy. Did I get that right though? I didn't get. That's why it's not so miserable. He is a low quality unit. Okay, so we have 12 points against Hive. Hive doubles the 10 because he's in the town. That's 1-to-1. But we have a quality shift because we're elite, and he's not. And we have a quality shift because he is poor quality. So that will get us to 3-to-1, which in this game, 2-to-1s I don't like. They're dicey. 3-to-1s, you're starting to get on more solid ground. So I never feel too bad about rolling out a 3-to-1, although you can get an engagement result. That's basically a nothing burger. Nothing's free. It just kind of pins the guy in place, but he is not obligated to attack in his side of the turn. So there's nothing truly bad happening to the defender with an engage, unless he needs to move away. Let's see what we get. A 3. Defender retreat. Okay, so we got a defender retreat here. That's really what we want. That's adequate, because remember what we're trying to do. Is try to shush them away to get this bridge that we control out of German zones of control. So mission accomplished. Unless he makes a determined defense, but as a low quality unit in other. Let's see. Well, he has a 1 chance in 3. He gets a -1 of the die roll. If he succeeds, he will take a hit. In this case, as a dedicated National Socialist, I think maybe it's a good thing to give it a try to clog up this bridge to delay the 101st ability to get over to Eindhoven. All right, we'll try it. A 4, not quite good enough. That normally it would have been good enough, but with the -1 due to his quality, it's not. He takes no losses. But he fails in his attempt to stay there. So he's going to go back here, and he can disrupt. Now, units do have the option of going back only 1 on a retreat, but they have to take a loss if they do it. And there's no real net gain for going back only 1. The other thing, if you only go back 1, you don't take the disruption. You only get disrupted if you retreat 2 or more hexes. That's fine. We want to take this hex. Now we've opened up the bridge that is controlled. Now this other bridge, remember, the Germans made an attempt to blow it up turn 1 when the Allies moved up, and they made it in the German side of the turn. So they made the attempt to blow up the bridge in the German side of return. They failed. The Americans were not next to it, so they didn't capture it. But now they are next to it. There are no Germans there. The bridge is not wired for being blown up. In my world, that is a captured bridge. So we managed to take another bridge, although it's, as long as you got the one on the road, this one's not all that important. But as I said, bridges are good. More bridges are better. Next, we got to go all the way. We had no attacks over here with the 82nd. They're busy getting their heads screwed back on and discovering bridges and such. We're going to go over here where the British first para. We're going to try to shush this guy. He's next to the turn 3 drop zone. So if we can get him out of there, we can land without the negative modifiers for being in a German zone of control. So we got a 4-to-1, and let's roll it and see what we got. A 5. Oh, that's good. That's a D1. Okay. So defender takes a loss. And remember, in this game, this number here is the number of steps. So we know it's a 2, so we know he's got another step. He takes a loss. In this case, all right, we could try to hang tough and exert our influence on this area. I'm going to say no. He's a low quality unit. Let's just get out of there. He's going to take his disruption like a man and get out of here. He's going to go retreating off the board. This guy can advance, and now the drop zone for turn 3 is entirely controlled by the British paratroopers. We're in good shape there with that. All right, that is all the attacks for the Allied side of turn 2. The next thing would be recovery phase. Again, that's just picking up markers. I don't need to put that on the camera. You know how to pick up a marker as well as I do. Supply phase, everybody's in supply. And that is it for the Allied turn 2. So I'm going to do the cleanup phase, and then we're going to resume with the German part of turn 2. The first phase for the Germans is the artillery resupply phase. The Germans had no artillery that was shooting yet, so there's nothing that requires resupply. So we tick past that one. There is a bridge phase. Now, this should have been handled when the British paratrooper moved up, but we have him next to the railroad bridge. We never rolled for that. So let's roll for it now. It's a 1 or 2, and they capture the bridge. If not, the bridge blows up. Ba-boom! The bridge blows up. Well, it's kind of normal. So the railroad bridge blows up, and I think that's actually what happened in real life. They tried to capture this thing, and it got blown up before they could accomplish that. And there's nothing the Germans can do that I see with bridge blowing up more bridges in their part of the turn. So let's see, they don't have any paratroops in the air landing phase. We're up to the German move. Once again, I think the German move is pretty mundane, so I'm going to take it off camera and come back if there's anything interesting with it. Other than that, we'll resume after the Germans are done moving. The Germans have pretty much pulled back from their previous line. You can see the armor unit is already pulled back all the way to Eindhoven, and they've left a screening force in front to slow the Allies down. Meanwhile, to the east, they're just getting out of Dodge as best they can. They had the unit elimination last turn, and what's left is pulling back to try to get behind the canal, most likely. And that's it for the 30th Corps area. In the 101st Zone, we see a continuation of the pattern we had seen before. Both sides are reinforcing their flanks, and right now neither really has enough of an advantage to do much of anything. This will probably continue for a while longer before one side or the other feels strong enough to do some attacking. Over by the 82nd, we had 2 new German units show up, one of which is an artillery unit, and we were maintaining that guy off map in Zone I because he can actually shoot from there anywhere up and down that line. So it's a good place for him to be. He doesn't have to worry about getting attacked. And then farther towards Arnhem, we had 1 more unit that we put up in the Polter area down the road just to pose a threat that way. And the 2 units we had from last turn are still there. Lastly, in Nijmegen, we had an SS unit actually make it to the town. And so we're starting to build up a defense that hopefully the Allies will have to respect and have some trouble pounding through. Here's a little bit better view of the Nijmegen, and you can see the SS unit went down the road and entered the town to start doing some reinforcing. You also see the armored car unit approaching the Arnhem Bridge, and yes, this is the same guy that crossed the bridge in the Bridge Too Far movie, and he didn't do very well. And finally, you see some just general build-up and consolidation, hemming in the 1st Airborne, keeping them away from Arnhem, and starting to get some forces so that at some point we can start attacking and finish Colonel Frost off. That's about it for turn 2. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. and I'm going to start, I'll be putting out turn 3 for you guys as soon as I can. In the meantime, if you could, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and well, I hope to see you back here one more time to see turn 3.